Star Wars announces a lot of things, doesn't deliver a lot, but they announce a lot. And one of the things that they've announced is an upcoming Dave Filoni project based on the MandoVerse. That's going to include, apparently, from what we're told, Mandolorian, Ahsoka, other characters within that big MandoVerse, right? But with the struggles of the Marvels, could that maybe be in jeopardy? And that is the subject of today's Mint Mobile hotline question of the day. Listen, guys, if you've got a question for the show and you'd like to hear your voice on our show, go ahead and call our Mint Mobile hotline anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 951-268-4259. And today's is specifically about, could that MandoVerse movie maybe be in trouble? Check it out.
Hey, John. This is Matthew from Palm Springs, Florida. I was wondering, with Bob Iger restructuring things at Disney, what are the chances that the Filoni MandoVerse movie is in jeopardy, as it, as far as we know, is jumping off a bunch of Disney Plus shows that have not been very well received and their popularity is declining, similar to the Marvels? And what is your take on this stuff? Thank you, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for calling that in, Matthew. And yeah, listen, it's a totally valid question because, look, while I think we are all waiting to see what Dave Filoni can do with a live-action Star Wars movie, now that he's had the opportunity to sit at the feet of like John Favreau a little bit, cut his teeth a little bit on directing a couple of episodes of live action, I think a lot of people, including me, are really excited to see what he can evolve into with a live-action film. So they announced this MandoVerse movie that they're going to do, which includes Ahsoka, because much as I love Dave Filoni, the one criticism I used to have is he doesn't seem to know how to do anything without Ahsoka, but they have this MandoVerse movie, right? But there could be a couple reasons why that might be in trouble. Not saying it is, saying might be. And I think the two main reasons it could be the three main reasons it could be in trouble are this. Number one, Bob Iger's back. He's already said we're going to start really looking more closely, not just Marvel, but Star Wars too, about what we produce. We're going to cut back a little bit. We're going to try to be a little bit more frugal and be a little bit more wise about what we greenlight and what we don't, and all that kind of stuff. That's one thing. The second thing is this. The Marvels just at the box office flopped. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I didn't think it was a great movie. No, it definitely wasn't a great movie, but I didn't think it was a bad movie. And the reason it flopped are legion. There are many reasons why it flopped, but one of the reasons that I said months in advance was going to hurt it, and it did, was the fact that a lot of this movies and its marketing was predicated on the fact that it's featuring two main characters that unless you're a Disney Plus subscriber and watched the shows, you had no idea who two of these characters were. No idea. The point that I literally had viewers of our show coming up to me in the street saying, I don't know if I should go see Captain Marvel because I never watched WandaVision and I never watched Ms. Marvel and I feel like I'm not going to get it. I mean, that was a legitimate problem. And now you're talking about making a feature film that is all Disney Plus only characters. You can make an argument that Ahsoka was around before Disney Plus. Yes, but the Rosario Dawson live action iteration is a Disney Plus character. Mando, as popular as Mando has been, Disney Plus exclusive character. This iteration of Boba Fett, you know, the new age Boba Fett, if you will, it's all predicated on Disney Plus television shows. That could become a problem because they just saw what happened to the Marvels. The third reason why it could possibly be in jeopardy is this. This stuff comes to us from The Direct, who wrote the following, talking about the fact that, yeah, the popularity of this MandoVerse has been in decline, significant decline. Despite a strong start, talking about Ahsoka, an impressive debut, Star Wars Ahsoka ended its first season on less impressive notes, experiencing a 40% drop in viewership compared to The Mandalorian's third season finale. And then if you look at that chart they put below there, those lines represent the popularity of season 1, which is the bright orange, the biggest line in the chart. Then kind of the pinkish reddish line, which was season 2, and you can see that went down. And then that purple line is Mandalorian season 3, and where it was at that point in the mid-season. And it didn't get any better as the season progressed. So we're talking about now making a feature film for theaters that is based entirely on characters that people will only know if they subscribe to Disney Plus and watch the Disney Plus shows. And those shows have shown a trend of downward popularity. declining in their viewership and declining in interest. Now, am I interested in seeing a Dave Filoni MandoVerse movie? Yes, I am. For several reasons I am. But under this new sort of close eye being given to every single project, as Bob Iger is kind of mandating, we're going to cut back on how much we do. We're going to be more discerning about what stuff we do and all that kind of stuff. I will not be surprised. First of all, I wouldn't be surprised if any Star Wars project gets canceled, because that's what Star Wars does the last couple of years. They announce projects and then they cancel them. But I wouldn't be surprised at all when you take all that in consideration if we find out here soon that maybe this one gets canceled. Now, if they do, though, what I think would probably happen, and this is just me guessing, I think they instantly get another project lined up for Dave Filoni. Because I think we need to see Dave Filoni direct a feature-length film. I think he needs to do it. I think we need to see him do it. It would just probably be a movie that isn't predicated on television stuff. It'll be predicated probably something original, something new, and I think they'll get something lined up for him fairly quickly if they do this. So again, I'm not saying they're going to scrap this. I'm just saying I'm not going to be surprised at all if we find out that they're not going to move forward with the project, or it evolves into some Disney Plus special, like maybe a Disney Plus limited series. Instead of a MandoVerse theatrical film, they do a Avengers style crossing Boba Fett with Mandolorian with Ahsoka and all that kind of stuff and all these characters, and they do a one season, kind of like what Netflix did with the Defenders. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they took I was about to call Luke Cage Cool Hand Luke. When they took Luke Cage and Daredevil
Fist,
and Jessica
Daredevil,
Jones,
Yeah.
and they put them all together. I could see them maybe evolving that into a series for that. But if they do, I still think we're going to get that feature film from Dave Filoni. It just might be something original for the screen, theatrical, not something based on the television series. Anyway, guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Factor. This bustling holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, flavorful meals to fuel you on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tackling all your holiday to-dos. Cross meal prepping off your list this holiday season with Factor. Skip the meal planning, grocery shopping, chopping, prepping, and cleaning up, and get Factor's fresh, never frozen meals delivered to your door. They're ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy. Choose from 35 plus chef-crafted meals every week that support a healthy lifestyle and meet your meal preferences. Looking for calorie-conscious options over the holidays that don't skimp on the flavor? Try delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. And Factor isn't just for dinner. Count on extra convenience any time of the day with an assortment of 55 plus add-ons to suit various preferences and tastes. So guys, head to factormeals.com/Campea50 and use the code Campea50 to get 50% off. That's code Campea50 at factormeals.com/Campea50 to get 50% off. Chris, I think it's a really interesting question they're asking, and I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just saying when you look at the numbers and understanding Bob Iger is pulling out his own acts of Zaslav right now, looking at what they can cut back on. What do you think the chances are that maybe a project like this one doesn't actually happen? What do you think?
I think it's so high because look at Star Wars as a whole. So many of these projects don't come to fruition. We've had so many false starts here. We've been promised a movie and then it's been yoinked away. And when you are talking about television shows going to the big screen, they also need to have numbers to back it up. Now, I'm a huge Mando fan, hey-yo, but some of these other shows haven't really fired on all cylinders, or they've had their growing pains. Even Mando has. I liked this last season, I think, more than you guys, if I recall correctly. Because I didn't mind Jack Black and Lizzo. I thought that was fine. I know some of you really
My
disliked
problem with
that.
the season wasn't Jack Black,
Yeah.
so it was other issues.
Well, I'm saying just a couple of the things in there that people seemed really angry about. It's fine. It's fine. It found its footing. Again, it's my favorite genre of, reluctant dad, but finding a baby.
Yeah.
I love that. I just feel like with how Star Wars has been struggling to get anything on the big screen, numbers aside, I really just don't believe when they tell me I'm getting a movie in theaters. I just don't see it happening a lot of times here. And with Star Wars where it is right now too, in a very polarizing kind of place with a lot of fans, I think they need a really big win. And I'm not sure this is the one that's going to unite everybody on the big screen. I think doing it as a big epic of a mini series or something like that on Disney Plus is a smart move. Heck, I'd love a Mando film on the big screen, focused specifically on him, because I don't want it to become Boba Fett, right? Where the only episode I really love is the Mando episode.
Yeah.
Right.
If
yeah.
we're doing a proper
Bryce
team
Dallas
up,
Howard episode?
yeah.
Yeah.
If we're doing
Yeah.
a proper team up, combining all these universes, bringing everyone together, I want to make sure that it's Avengers level of, oh wow, look at all these people coming together, and I'm equally invested in all of these stories. Right now, I personally, as a viewer, am not. So I feel like there's just a couple other steps you got to get there if you want everyone in that movie. But I do think Dave Filoni is definitely going to have his big theatrical moment in the sun. He has the keys to the Star Wars universe, and he knows it really, really well. Whether or not you view him as just a cartoon guy or however you see him, he knows his shit, and Lucasfilm really trusts him. So one way or another, he's going to do a movie. I just don't know if it's this one.
It'll be interesting. And, if they did do like their version of the Defenders, so I guess, Ahsoka would kind of be Jessica Jones, Mando would be Daredevil, Boba Fett would probably be Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, he'd be like, how do I do this? How do I be Boba Fett? And
Where
use
are my
fist?
Vespa kids?
Why are you trying to fight me? Don't you know that I am Boba Fett? Yeah, anyway. All right. Hey, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.